Welcome back once again, Blade Gang. This old sword with you once again. And the theme of today's video is tactical triple threat. We're giving some giving some love to fixed blade tactical knives today. I recently did a folding knives tactical review. Seemed to be well received, and many of you wanted more, although I'm sorry, these aren't flipper knives. You might see that they're fixed blades and move right along because we've got fixed blade fans and we've got folder fans, and sometimes they aren't the same. Anyway, these are three knives that I feel, keep that in mind, my opinion, I feel, and not a big outdoorsman, but I once spent a good amount of times out in the woods. These are knives that I believe would serve a tactical as well as camp survival, if you will, purpose, and fulfill that quite well. I've had a few of these for a while now, and the one in the middle in particular for a good number of years. So what we've got here, top to bottom, is Topps Viking Tactical Norseman, and we've got in the middle the Microtech Crosshair, and on the bottom we have by Blackrock Design the Rockryu, made by Fox Knives. Each has a different steel. None of them are rust free in terms of the type of steel that are used, so you do need to keep a little oil or silicone on these or what have you. Going to start smack in the middle and back out just a little bit. I've done a review on this one in the past. This is a Microtech Crosshair. It might at first look like just another dagger design, but it is built. I believe that steel's almost 1/4 inch, if not 1/4 inch. Double grind, perforated fuller in the middle. This one's got a desert tan blade and handle. And by the way, they all come with an excellent Kydex sheath, which is right up there with the quality of the knife. Locks in tight, double molly connectors, could also be put on a belt or a backpack. They're heavyweight knives, and maybe we'll do a weigh-in at the end with the sheaths on. A little safer that way. Got a long slotted lanyard slot. That's right, choose your words. And it did have a nice lanyard in there, but it was so decorative and nice, and it had a steel cap on the end and everything, that every time I moved it around a little bit and did some tactical stuff with it, that it would whack me in the hand and whack me in the hand and whack me in the hand like an nunchaku. Finally I took it off, so I didn't see a purpose for it other than to have some paracord handy should you need it, but you can certainly put more paracord in there should you want. This one was made in 2011, November of 2011. I initially wanted this in a S30V, bought it from a online retailer from eBay, a reliable one. He apologized profusely when I got a D2 instead of the S30V. But you know, in the long run, I'm kind of happy with the D2 as a tougher, kind of chip resistant, more easily sharpenable steel than the S30V, although I've got nothing against S30. But in this weight blade, for chopping, for batoning, and so forth, I think this is going to hold up a little bit better. Although, as you can see, I've done none of that with this. But that is the Microtech Crosshair in D2. By the way, very useful, I feel, edge where you've got a full serrated edge, just about, except for the tip, and you've got a full plain edge. So, you know, your pick, whatever you cut in rope or hemp or something rough or plastic strapping, use the serrated edge. Cutting something like meat or prepping food, vegetables, whatnot, this will do it. Not perfect for it, but these are multi-purpose knives, right? Survival in the woods or on the tactical belt, ready for use. Putting the Crosshair aside, we're going to jump to this one by Tops, the Viking Tactical's Norseman. Along with being a heavy-duty knife, it's, by the way, out of 1095, has their acid rain finish on it. Along with being a heavy-duty knife, it's very nicely decorated with this vine jimping design and a red spacer. Very custom-y. Brown and green micarta, or tan and green micarta, and nice pocket for the thumb there that's actually jimped out on the sides, but it works. It hangs onto your thumb very, very well. This grip I find with this knife is great. Hammer grip, it's kind of a narrow grip, would be perfect for gloves, and that might have been the thought behind putting those finger choils in there. Not sure. It is comfortable. You can choke up with no problem. You don't have an edge nearby that's going to cut you, so it's a true finger choil. And if you pinch right in here, you can get some very fine work out of that blade. You can also go finger down, or combat wise, this will hold in either position. Point up, point down is a little long for point down, at least in the way that I've been taught to use them. Blades on these guys, if I can get my tape measure, and full reviews on each, by the way, as I always say. Other places on the channel, full reviews. 11.5-inch overall and about a 6-inch blade, including the choil on this. So the cutting edge is going to be about 5.5. Backtracking to the Crosshair, got an overall length of 10.25. Got a blade of 5 inches and a cutting edge of 4 3/4 on the bottom edge. Cutting edge on the top is going to be a little different. By the way, this is not the one to reach your thumb out too far on. I've done that, and this knife is so sharp. I haven't seen anything come out of Microtech that isn't razor sharp. So the Viking Tactical, also a really nice knife. Any of these can be put to very hard use, I feel, whether combat, tactical, or woodsman use. Finally, we have the Rockryu, a relatively recent design by Black Rock Knives, and it's Ken. I'm going to look up his name to pronounce it correctly. Ken Vehikite. That's about as close as I can come. Ken, unfortunately, recently had a stroke. He survived it. He's coming back. He's rehabbing. He's making knives again, slow but sure. And this is just really a mild example of what this man turns out. This pattern you see here on the handle very often covers half the blade. He's just got this really neat, almost stone-like chiseled look to his fixed blades, and he pretty much, as far as I know, exclusively turns out fixed blades. This is so comfortable in the hand. As a tactical knife, I would say this would be my top choice of the three. As a purely tactical knife that would have reach, that would have cutting and shearing capability, and is made out of a very decent steel, which we'll discuss in a moment. So we've got 5 and almost a ½ inch blade, cutting edge, 5 1/4 overall length, right to the pointy pommel of 10 3/4 inches. And these are all very thick steel. I'm not going to go through the thicknesses. Those are on the individual reviews. Feel free to look them up. Excellent stonewash, heavy-duty stonewash on this, and it's a Nylox steel. See if I can get you some info on that from Knife Steel Compositions. It's a stain-resistant tool steel with good edge holding and decent toughness. Contains niobium, one of the best carbide formers. And although there's not a lot of niobium in the alloy, knives typical working hardness range 58 to 63 Rockwell. Even without powder metallurgy technology, it's a very fine-grained steel, which is obviously a positive and aids with edge stability. And this is favored by German, French, and Belgian knife makers. It's supposed to have a AISI D2 wear resistance, but better edge stability. So maybe it comes close to D2 with better stain resistance and better edge holding. Not sure. You can do a little research on that and niobium and Nylox steel. But Fox is doing a few of these out of Nylox. The Monkey Thumper, made by Fox, that is also a Black Rock design, is an interesting one. It's a ring knife with kind of a bent blade, very wide, kind of a large belly. But this one is kind of your perfect traditional styled Tonto. Yes, this is what Tontos look like before Lynn Thompson Americanized them, and nothing wrong with that. Those are cool, specialized knives, but when we think of Tonto, we think of the chisel point and not the long sweeping edge as we have in this one. And this is an extremely sharp edge. Got decent traction there for your thumb. Just again, yeah, 2-finger choil there, but my fingers just lock right in. It's beautiful. Again, any one of these 3 knives, this triple threat tactical team here, could be put to very good use. And by the way, I said I would weigh them up, didn't I? So why don't we do that? That's the sheath for the Viking Tactical Norseman. Here is the sheath for the Ryu. They all fit perfectly, minimal rattle, and all have really nicely designed either tech locks or molly locks on the back, and all of them thumb off perfectly. Lock in nice, but do thumb off. So let's do a quick weigh-in here. I want to take a whole lot of time, but just give you an idea of what we're talking about here as far as meat goes. So the Crosshair is 15, almost 16 ounces. So we're going to call that a pound with the sheath, not a pocket knife. The Ryu comes in at 11.5 ounces, considerably less. And the Viking Tactical Norseman comes in at 14.6. So the heavier 2 knives are going to be the Crosshair and the Viking Tactics Norseman. Got plenty of meat on these sheaths. As you can see, they're pretty wide. I don't mind that. Gives me a lot of stability. Oh, let's bring them out. Yeah, probably the widest one and almost a paddle sheath is the one for the Norseman. But you got that very wide span across the 2 molly connectors. So here we go. Triple threat triple threat, losing my R's today, triple threat tactical fixed blades, Microtech Crosshair, and the Rockryu by Fox Knives, and the Viking Tactics Norseman by Tops. Hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to give it a like, and please subscribe. Catch you soon.